Sup peeps, my name's Ian. I sell books on eBay and the orders are still coming in. It's great. It's been a good end to the month, really good start to the month, and yesterday was, bring in Norris McWhirter, Roy Castle, for me anyway, a record breaking sales day. So yeah, for selling books, I have had slightly better sale days in the past, but that's when I was like clearing out big ticket items that I was just getting short of, long ago. So for just real kind of reselling, churning stuff out, yesterday I think is the best day that I have had, and there were no huge value items. It was just a lot of stuff at quite a nice price. So let's run through what sold, give you an idea of how that works, and then let you know how much it all sold for. Does that work? Yeah. I'm not going to do the exact breakdown of here's my postage and here's what my fees, because it doesn't really work like that. You get your sales price, then you've got your eBay fees, then you've got your postage cost, then you've got your packaging cost, then you've got your cost of goods, and then you've got to take into account all your other business expenses, rather than this is how much I made. So I'm not going to fib and lie. Approximately a third of all my sales is profit back into the business. So, once I've paid the eBay fees and the postage, that's the money that goes back into the business to pay for stock, to pay for packaging, to pay the bills, all of these different bits and pieces. At some point, pay a wage, and then from that, I then have to pay tax and national insurance. Thank you everybody who reminds me about that. One of the older videos I did on these things. Yeah, of course, everybody pays tax. We know that. But if you're looking at a job advert, it tells you how much, it's 20 grand a year, it's 50 grand a year, it's £12 an hour, whatever it is. It doesn't say it's £12 an hour, but actually, you're only going to get 8 because we tax you. It's, it's an overhead. And depending on what other income you've got coming in, then you might be paying no tax because it's under 12 grand a year. You might be paying 40% tax on that profit because you're already earning, a reasonable wage somewhere else. So anyway, enough. Sales from yesterday. We started rather modestly with a bundle of Alex Gray paperbacks. So 5 Alex Gray paperbacks, £11.55. So I've changed around some of my listings slightly. Stick them well out of the way. I've got so much to go through today. So I'm doing free postage in some of these listings now, and I've increased the price per item slightly so that if somebody does just buy one, I'm still going to kind of break even on it, just and no more. But that's using a much cheaper carrier than Royal Mail to get them out, so we'll see how that one goes. But next is not affected by that. It's all the way down here on the floor somewhere. So I've just gone and picked this stuff up. It is a bundle of Star Wars books, Timothy Zahn Star Wars books. Can't really see what they all are, but £22.50 that one sold for, so that was quite nice. Had a couple of folk coming in and saying, could you split it, could I have just this book? I just held £22.50 for 4 books, which I think is pretty good. Next, a book in its own. So this is on the telly recently. What the heck is it? There it is. So getting a wee bit of profile, and that is Heather Morris, the Tattooist of Auschwitz. There's also the other 2 books in the series. Can't remember, Silka's Story and then 3 Sisters, I think possibly. But the Tattooist of Auschwitz, £6.99 on its own. Put it in the pile down there. Another bundle, Alison Noel, The Immortals. So there are 6 books in that collection, I believe. Yes, 6, and that went for £14.99. So one of those where I've managed to pick up a set and just kept them as a set and churned them out that way. Right, another book on its own. Let's see, it's got a good mix of stuff today. This is actually quite a good sale. The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer IM Trout. I'm just going with Jennifer IM Trout. £14.99 for that one. Lovely big chunky weighty paperback. Definitely sold these, not this particular title, but I've sold a few of her books in the last few weeks. Seen them quite often at the moment, and they seem really popular. So yeah, $14.99 for that on its Todd. It was a good sale. Next, another pre-made bundle. Which David Baldacci, 5 David Baldacci hardcovers, $16.99. So I've had loads of these. They weren't moving as part of the variation listing, so I just thought I'll make a few bundles up, see if people are interested. That's possibly just the first one that sold, maybe the second, I don't know, but I'm only going to make a couple of quid on that. But they take up a lot of space, so it's good just to get them moving because they weren't selling otherwise. So yeah, promoted listings. So a third to eBay, a third in post, and I get a £5 back. But it'll have only cost me about £1.50 for that, so making maybe £3 on that one, which doesn't seem a lot for 5 hardcovers, but easy to pick, pack, post, and let's say it clears out some space. Another one from the author of Daisy Jones and the Six, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Taylor Jenkins Reid. So some aged movie star who starts telling her life story to some young journalist, who there's obviously a twist, something to do with the two of them in there. That went for £6.99. Quite a few wee single books today, but lots of bundles as well. And the next one is a bundle. Why the heck is it not a bundle? And I've got it here somewhere. I've definitely got it here somewhere. Let's see. It's been such a busy day. Here we go. 5 Ian Rankins. 2 big paperbacks, 3 normal paperbacks, and they went for £14.94. So again, that's part of the all new pricing structure. With the big paperbacks, that might be over the 2 kilos, but £14.94, I can take the hit on that one. It's fine. Put them down there. Right, another bundle, another big heavy bundle, which is where I have just moved everything to get to that one. So let's just reverse the process, shall we? Pop all of them back over there and grab these 5 Lee Child hardcovers. A couple of first editions in there, which pushed the price up slightly. £18.95 for the 5 of them. So that's not a bad wee profit from that lot. And they need to go in that pile there. Yes, so Lee Child hardcovers do sell better than some of the other authors in hardcover, but they still don't go very often. But that's, well, saying that's all I've got left just now. I've got quite a lot of paperbacks too, but it's what it is. Right, next, I've just realised this is a 3-book bundle. I've only picked 2 of them so far, so I'll need to go and grab the other one. I must have pulled it out and left it sitting, not actually lifted it to bring it down. It's 2 paperbacks and a hardcover, and they went for £8.50. So again, part of the new pricing structure. Previously, that would have been $9.99 for, actually, it would have been $10.99 for those 3 books, because I would have charged the postage. But to try and increase volume, making less per, but you know, get a significant jump in the volume, I'm getting less for those ones. So £8.50. But that's absolutely fine. That's what was meant to happen. It brings in somebody who's only got a feedback of 1, the feedback I've left them for buying that. So that's brought a new customer onto the platform, and hopefully a new repeat customer to me, which is always nice. Next, we've got, where is it? There we go. Jaclyn Wilson. 5 Jaclyn Wilson. A couple of hardcovers in there again. Yeah, her hardcovers aren't massive, so that might still be under the 2 kilos, which would be nice. It was only £12.75 for the 5 of those. Again, the new way the pricing's working, I am getting less per sale, but I'm hoping it just encourages more people to buy. So yeah, £12.75 instead of what would normally have been about £14.99 for the 5 of those. But would they have bought them if I didn't have that? Who knows? Right, one I picked up yesterday, Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass by Lana Del Rey. I thought she was a singer or something. Yeah, she's something. Yeah. Plastic surgery type. $9.99, so that was one of the ones I just picked up yesterday. It looked like a pretty book, and somebody else obviously agrees, so that has been bought. It's a kind of interestingly put together. It's just lots of poems. I don't know if it's songs, poems, whatever it is, but yeah, it's a really nice book. $9.99 that one went for. And then another book, and I just spoke about this yesterday as well, Infinite Ground by Martin McInnes. So this is one that I'd said yesterday, look, I picked this up and it looked a bit interesting, so I just thought I would grab it. $9.99, sold same day, so maybe I underpriced it. There was a lot priced quite a reasonable amount higher, but the solds, you know, was like one sold at a decent price and everything else was a lot cheaper. So I went for the kind of the cheaper end because I want to smooth stuff, and it worked. $9.99 for that one. And excuse me, when you're paying pennies for books, that's a fantastic return. Right, another single book, James Patterson's Honeymoon. £3.25 all in for that, so that's a break-even effort. I am just going to break even. I might make 20p. If I can keep the packaging tight, it'll go large later, just, and no more. So I'll make 20 pence on it, but that's the risk I'm taking and changing those prices. I want people to go in and buy more of the bundles. As long as people buy 2 books or more, I'm making money. When they buy single books, I'm making pennies or breaking even. So I've got to be careful of that. And if it goes promoted listings, which this one did, then that's very much the break-even point. If it doesn't go promoted listings, then I'll make a few pence off of them as they go. But yeah, $3.25 for that one on its own. I'm a bit nervous about this. I've moved 40 or 50 listings over to that structure just to see how it goes. I just need to wait and see. Hopefully it pays off and it generates more traffic, which it's based on yesterday. It seems to be doing. What else might have improved the sales? The fact that I have been consistently trying to list, like £400 a day in items. I've not managed to hit that every day. Some days I've far exceeded it. Some days I've put a couple of £100 up, but I think I'm averaging about 360 a day I've managed to list over the last month. So if that's what I'm listing consistently, and I'm trying really hard to only list stuff that has sold previously, stuff I know that sells, or something that is new but appears to have a reasonable sell through rate. So once I've been doing that for a couple of months, I would expect my sales to be at the kind of £300 mark. I really hope that's what happens. If it doesn't, I'm just going to end up with more and more and more stock and the sales stay the same. So that's what we're trying to do. So changing that pricing structure will get things moving a bit faster, and if I'm still generating that amount of sales, it's still going to stay roughly, a third to eBay, a third to the post, and a third back into the business. That won't change from what I've done with the pricing. It just means that I need to sell a wee bit more to make the same amount of money, but it's a few percent difference on the grand scheme of things. But this next bundle is another example of that. Previously this would have been an easy £12-13, but today it's £10.95 for 5 Lee Child paperbacks. I did think, right, well, the authors that I sell well and popular, will I leave them off of that offer, or will I move them onto it to see if it gets even more momentum on those? And yeah, they're just flying out now at that price. So yeah, £10.95 for 5 Lee Child paperbacks, which is a bargain, let's be honest. And they will go out soon. Another pre-made bundle. So it was the end of the month, 250 odd folk watching different items, sent out offers, just a 10% off. I'm not going into negotiations. I really can't afford to give any more than that off on things, otherwise it begins to be a waste of time. But this one sold at 10% off, so it went for £13.49. I'll let you do the arithmetic to work out its original price. It's just a bundle of how to draw manga books. I'd picked a few of these up and they kind of sell for £3 each. £3, £4, £5 each, not a huge amount of money. They don't sell fast, so like I say, I just chucked them into a wee pile quite a while ago, you know, a month or two ago maybe, and that's them gone now for £13.49. So it's a heavy bundle, so it's not a crazy sale. Again, you know, making £3-4 off of that. Didn't go promoted, so that's a wee bit extra in the pot, if nothing else. Another one I picked up yesterday that sold straight away for £10.99. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. He's hardcore. It's the clean edition. See, clean edition. Says it in the sticker, so it must be true. £10.99. So again, it seems to be one that's a good seller. If you see it, self-help books, all of these things, I do pick up when I see them. And I'm sure I've seen this guy on YouTube or something. I recognise the name, I recognise the face. But yeah, £10.99. Worth keeping an eye open for in the future. Next, very few educational books have sold this exam spell, which kind of surprised me. So few that I've actually stopped picking them up. I must have passed up in like 30 or 40 of them in the last couple of weeks, because it's just, well, they're not going anywhere and it's into exams now. But one is gone, drama, past paper type things from 2013. Again, really nice clean edition, and that went for £8.48. So that was actually quite an expensive one for the education-y books. Most of them are priced an awful lot cheaper than that because I just want to shift them out. But it is a listing I'm going to look at. I've just got them all listed individually. You know, if I've got 2 copies or something, it's a multi-listing for that, but they're listed individually. I'm thinking I'll take them all down and create something different to see if that lets them sell a bit easier. I say it's too late now to really worry about it. In the next week or so, I'll take them all down, I'll stick them aside, and then once we're getting back round to new term time, that's where I'll think about getting it all changed up. Sold the box set of this yesterday, the day before, and now I've sold just the vanilla paperback set. Leah Bardugo, Shadow and Bone. So be on Netflix, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, and I picked up Crooked Kingdom and Something Crows yesterday, so I'll get them listed up. That's 2 standalone Grishaverse books, whatever they're called, but 3M £9.99. So the box set went for I think £12.99 because it was nice and glossy and new. That's 3 used paperbacks, although 2 of them are in very good condition. One of them's in almost very good condition. So I'll take it, £9.99. Next, right, this is a fail. I sold a copy of this a wee while ago. I'm sure I actually said it in the video at the time, I think this is the wrong copy, I need to check, and then I didn't check and I went and sent it. But I had the Deep and Jaws bundled together, and then I had a really nice clean copy of Jaws on its own, you know, kind of original paperbacks. So the Deep and the Jaws bundle went, and I picked them out, and I've sent the wrong copy of Jaws. I've sent the really clean copy of Jaws as part of that bundle, rather than the rather tattier, acceptable, almost condition one that was meant to go with it. So this, or the clean one, just sold for £15.99 because it's a cracker, but all I've got is this tatty looking thing, so I'm going to need to get in touch with the buyer. So if you're watching, Julie, sorry, I'll drop you a message. Well, you'll have had it by the time you watch this, if you do watch these videos. Really sorry, we'll see what we can do. If you still want it, you know, I'll discount what they paid for the book, and they can have it just for the cost of the postage, just as an apology. If they want it. If they don't want it, then I'll just need to cancel the order and refund the full thing. But I'm really annoyed with myself because I've had a few copies of this because it does sell well, and I'm sure I remember saying that when I was making that video, I need to check, and then I didn't blooming check. So that's done me out of a few quid, which is annoying, but attention to detail, that's the key. You've got to keep your eye on things. Next we have 3 Julia Donaldsons, Monkey Puzzle, Tabby McTat, and A Squash and a Squeeze. Love this ASAP if possible, as it's a present. People say that, I mean, it's the postage is the postage. I post stuff out fast, but I suppose they don't know that some people actually do what the post thing says. But 3 of them, £9.89, so they'll be posted out today, which is as quick as I can do it, and within the times allowed. And they bought 9:30 last night, it was bought, so I'm getting it out this morning. It's pretty good. Next, just keep going, don't they? So many sales. Right, another one that would have been $12.99 2 days ago, but now sold for £10.95. 5 Dilly Quarts. I mean, they just sell and sell and sell. I'm really beginning to run out of these now. I maybe shouldn't have moved that one over to the new postie structure thing, but I did. Bit of consistency, and I say if it brings in new customers that can then become repeat customers, fantastic. I'm going to take that every single time. Next, we're nearly at the end now, I promise. We have a bundle of 5 Dick Francis vintage paperbacks. The buyer here, Ian, has been chasing another 2 that were part of a made-up bundle, which the bundles have been sitting pretty well. They don't seem to be doing anything. The variable, build your own bundle has sold quite well since I've put it up, so I've just taken down the other 2 set bundles that I had, added them into the variation listing, so if he comes in before I go to the post office for these 2, I'll be able to refund him the extra postage he's paid and get all of them sent out in one go. If he don't do it before I get the posting done, then, well, we'll see. Anyway, that's the Dick Francis bundle, $12.99. 5 paperbacks, $12.99. That's the price. Next, Desmond Bogley, a wee 2-in-1 novel. I didn't even know I had this, I'll be perfectly honest, but it was there, it was on the shelf. £6.84 for that one, so that's obviously been listed a wee while to have gone for that particular price. And finally, the last one, the one at the end, another pre-made bundle, Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club, first 3 paperbacks. Fourth one's not out in paperback yet, so this is as good as you get. I also listed a couple of hardcover bundles the same, just to see how they would go. So you could have gone into my multi-listing and bought the 3 of them for like £7, but they didn't sell. Put them up for £9.99. Bish bash bosh, away they go. Sorted. So that is the sales. The total value of all of that lot, according to eBay, was £293. But that ain't the truth of it. That's what's there. Obviously, I've had, since I last did any picking and packing, that's what's still to go. But when I'm monitoring this, I really look at the day-to-day period, the 24-hour midnight to midnight shot, and that's the bit that went really, really well. So yesterday's, now I don't think, especially since I've been doing the books, I've ever had a £300 plus day in sales. I've been close a couple of times, but a £200 day is fantastic because that's what I'm striving for. But in the last week, I've had 3 £300 plus sales days. Today, I'll end up doing £40 because it goes up and it goes down. And tomorrow I'll be on going, oh, eBay's dead, the world's coming to an end. But we know that's not really the truth. But yesterday was the top dog day, and it was like 9:30 last night, 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking, might get to £400 here. I didn't. I made it to 364, so that's 364 midnight to midnight in sales, and a chunk of this is obviously that, and a little bit of what we've seen here is actually from this morning, and some of yesterday's sales you already saw because I would have done them at another point or packed them up and spoke about stuff I'd picked up instead. But anyway, that's all on the side. £364, so that's a cracking day. So that's about 120 in fees, about 120 in postage, and about 120 back into the business to go out and buy more stock, pay a bit of a wage, buy packing materials, do all of these things. So yes, it's nice when that happens. That end of the month, start of the month, beginning to get quite a consistent period there now. The last 2-3 months I've noticed it. Beginning at end of last month, so the end of March, start of April, It got up to around about the £200 a day for that period, which was great because that's what I'm aiming for. This time around, we've had, you know, 320, 340, 250, 230, 180, and then 360. So it's a step up again from what the same period was last month, which, yeah, maybe we're getting into a time of year where people are spending a wee bit more money on things. Maybe that consistency of listing, you know, a good value, a good chunk of stuff every single day is beginning to bear fruit. If I can persist, does that mean end of this month, start of next month, it's going to be up towards the £400 mark? I don't know. I'm curious to see. Try and work out what's actually doing it and what's not. Of course, having said all of that, I need to take 12 quid off for the failed Jaws book, so it's actually closer to 350. But still, absolutely phenomenal day. Phenomenal week so far. I really hope it continues across the weekend, but let's see, today could be way down at 40 quid, and that's just what it is. I'm not going to complain. I'll yump and I'll moan, but I'm not really complaining if we do get the bad day. I mean, last month, £200 the start of the month, and my lowest day last month was £32.25. So it can go from, you know, 350 down to 30. You're at the mercies of I don't know what. And there was, to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last 31 days so far. I've only had 5 days below £100, which is great compared to what it was. Considering I'm using half a house to store the books, I want it to be higher. If I could consistently do £300 a day, then I could afford to move the business out of the home, as it were, and that extra few quid a day will pay for rent somewhere and everything that's needed there. Because I'm not just going to put stuff in a storage unit or out in somebody's garage. That creates way too much work. You've got to go there, you've got to pick the stuff up, you've got to come back, then you've got to do all your packing and your posting and the rest of it, so you've got to still have a workstation set up. Then once you've listed stuff, you've got to take it there and put it away and to and fro and back and forwards. Forget it, no chance, I'm not doing that. If and when I get somewhere, it'll be somewhere which is reasonably comfortable, has a work area, has good storage, and I can get some sort of Wi-Fi or broadband thingy-majig sorted out in it so that I can have the laptop and the printer and everything set up there. So you go to work in the morning, you pick, you pack, you post, you list, you come home, and keep the two things separate instead of... I've watched a few videos and it works for some people, and that's absolutely fine if it works for them, where, you know, they've got something in a room and something in a storage unit and something in a garage and they're here, there and everywhere, but that's way too complicated, way too much hassle. One-stop shop, that's what I like. Has to be a process, has to be a system which is going to allow you to continue to grow and make more money. And all that you end up doing is you go somewhere to store the stuff and suddenly it's full as well, so it spills back out. Tight, small storage spaces, especially with books, freaking nightmare for access, because you actually need quite a lot of space to store and access them, if that makes sense. So yeah, different things to think about, but that's all for hopefully not too far down the line. I'd love to do it this summer, but we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, that's all the sales. It's been a cracker. I'm going to go and find that Harlan Coben book. I'm going to message the Jaws buyer, see if Ian, who likes the Dick Francis books, comes back about those other two that he was after, and yeah, get on with the day. Alright, thanks very much. Thanks for your support. Like, subscribe, all these things. I'll see you later on. Bye.